Hey, my name is Marco. I'm a former pro opera singer turned voice actor. Today we're going to be listening to Daughter of the Dark God from Octopath Traveler. When Octopath Traveler came out, I was in Geneva, Switzerland learning French because eventually I was going to be singing in France, and I wanted to get a heads up, and I had always wanted to go to Switzerland, and I was able to go. So it was a cool experience. This game came out, I was super lonely, and this game really, really helped me. I don't know, I feel a little bit more grounded because it reminded me of my childhood and that sort of those experiences with those RPGs that I'd had. And I love the main theme. I used to listen to it every single day as I went to French class. I would listen to da 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 da. It was such a blast. So I actually don't know this piece at all, and I'm really, really excited to listen to it. So let's do it. I love that we have a traditional sounding battle theme from this time period, and yet it almost is just like a final boss. But I adore that they threw in opera in here to this operatic classical singing. And I mean, just to understand, this singing is incredibly difficult. It's so fast that you have to always be breathing. Let me try it out too. I'm making it up, but like it's incredibly difficult as a singer at this tempo, plus with this marching beat, to produce clear and focused and even vowels, consonants, and be on time with the music. And this is, I'm sure this is a very, very fast click of a pace, obviously. It's incredibly difficult, and some of that is because as singers, we need to be tanking up. We need to be filling our bodies with air so that we don't squeeze and use our vocal cords. And often, I've mentioned this in other singing videos, but often as singers, when we are singing this type of music, it gets really easy for the larynx, which is where all singing comes from, will creep up into our throats, and then we're up here, and then all of a sudden everything gets really tight, and we're not really able to produce a good quality sound. So you're always taking what they're called catch breaths, and I mentioned this in another video. You're always taking catch breaths. You're always going so that you can sustain, and it's a very complicated procedure, and it's very difficult at very, very fast tempos to stay relaxed, because even though there's so much tension inside of what we're doing as singers, we do need to be able to keep everything sort of buoyant and relaxed. So I'm curious to see if this shifts a little bit here. And actually, from a vocal technique perspective, going, it's actually a lot easier than going, because as you slide up, as you glissando up, your chords are much happier doing that than hitting going ba ba. It's not great for the chords. In fact, that's probably more like a glottal stop where you feel like That's a glottal stop. So if you go note, note, that can be not perfectly healthy. So glissando up is also like a characterization choice because she also doesn't need to do that. She can just quickly kind of glide up. So yeah, that's kind of interesting too. That's pretty high. Yeah, I mean, I haven't warmed up, so there you go. But that's a B flat, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's money notes. That's hard to sing. I didn't warm up, now I'm all self-conscious. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, that's so epic. And, you know, it's funny because as singers, we're trained to be able to do stuff like this because it requires a lot of technique to be able to sing like this and not going, like, you know, you get all tight. So, you know, kudos to her for being able to really manage this because I mean, it's hard. And what I find interesting about music and sort of the progression of music within video games is that here we have this like sort of retro approach going back to, you know, a different era in video game stylings. We're still fully orchestrating it, adding drums, adding the singer. There's like paying attention to what came before and then sort of evolving that into sounding like what it is now. So yeah, this is a cool piece. As always, if you want to support the channel, feel free to check out the Patreon or the About section, but there's never an obligation. Feel free to check out the Discord too, and thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.